Deutsche Bank cautiously optimistic the bottom is in, saying that Mark Zuckerberg's comments suggesting it has not been seen any meaningful user or advertiser impact, and his tone with reporters suggests that the worst is likely behind Facebook. The narrative can likely improve from here, though admittedly a lot rides on Zuckerberg's congressional testimony. Let's begin with you, James Checkmack. Do you kind of agree with that summary from Deutsche Bank this morning?
Somewhat. I agree.
What do you disagree with?
I disagree with the fact that the media story has hit a bottom. I think it will only continue to escalate from here. But from a stock perspective, I can agree with the point that on a risk-reward basis, I think it is reaching somewhat of a bottom. We had pegged the bottom at $150. But I think when you look at Facebook, the longer-term story is this. Any type of regulation, any type of new privacy laws that come out will only entrench the big cap companies like the Facebooks, like the Googles of the world, because they already have 2 billion people on the platform. They already have millions of advertisers. So this is all about data portability. Can I take my data? Can I use it on other apps? Can I use it on other websites? Facebook and Google both have their own dominant platforms. And if they put more walls around those gardens, that's just fine for them because they can continue to milk that gravy train.
Brent, are you happy to say that the bottom might be in, and are you happy to say that the worst could be over?
I don't think that the worst is over. You still have the fear, as your other guests mentioned, the blowback on additional data that's going to come out. You have GDPR implementation in May, which there's some concern in Europe. Are users going to opt out, and what does that do to advertisers? But I think we're getting closer, right? So our risk scenario would suggest 10 to 20 of downside on the stock. We have $70 of upside. We still believe the company can get to $10 in earnings in a couple years. And if you put a 25 multiple on that, you suddenly have, potentially over $100 of upside on the more bullish scenario. So the risk rewards are looking more favorable. I think the most important thing from our work is that, users aren't running for the hills. And if the users don't run for the hills, the advertisers will not leave. There's very few platforms in the world that have over 2 billion eyeballs on the system. So we think in many ways this is put behind them for now, and it's good to move on because we think there's a lot more interesting aspects to this business that I think people are missing.